How are y'all doing? It's another wonderful episode of DecisionsThroughData.com. Name's Casper. Let's see what questions we've got here from the past week. So the question here is, how long should I keep trading my time for money before attempting to trade others' time for it instead? Well, of course, it should be right away. Alright, let's see if we can paste that question. How long should I keep trading my time for others instead? That's not a yes or no question. The question should be formatted as, should I trade my time for money? And the question is yes. Why? Because money is useful. All right. This shouldn't need a link. All right. Should I trade my time for money? Okay, sure. Now the second format of the question: should I trade? Should I hire people instead of trading time for money? And their answer is also yes. Why? Because once you leverage other people's time as your own, you can compound your wealth. Alright, let me turn on the AC here. Okay, so what's the first thing that we can do? Okay, so how will we make a search term? Let's think about it. Trading time for money versus being an employer data. Well, you can never stop trading time for money. What you can do. So it's actually a lot of this trading time for money is actually a catchphrase that a lot of people have used for a long time, but in fact it's not something that you can just ever end, because even as a boss you're still trading time for money, right? It's just the amount of time that you put in just renders more value or productivity. It can be assumed that it's value. So you can see right off the top here, it's never gonna actually show you anything if we make any Google search. So how about wealth benefits of being an employer. Wealth benefits versus raise. Well, it's really, because this is, we just all have it in our basic nomenclature that, you know, people anytime you hire a person, you can outsource some of your responsibility needs so you can focus on the big picture. And the biggest picture, I would say, if you're asking in a capitalist sense, would probably be an individual such as, Warren Buffett. And what is Warren Buffett doing? Well, he's got a 20-person corporate head office, and all he is doing, he is basically researching about companies and spending about 5 hours a day reading 600 pages and basically improving himself and outsourcing all specialized skills to individuals who are professionals in those certain fields, where his singular field is simply investing, or you can assume compounding wealth, right? So you can kind of look at it from that same perspective. If you're good at one thing, you should focus more on that singular thing so that you can then move forward and compound your wealth. So there's no link of reference, but hopefully that's a suitable answer. You should, at any time, if you can, outsource things to individuals who are better than yourselves, or where the time rendered to do that activity is no longer economical, for the being that you only have a certain amount of time in a day and you only have a certain amount of willpower. So if you're burning up your willpower on things that you are not singularly good at, then you're going to be stuck in a bubble, because stuck in a loop, because you're never going to be able to escape the needs that you need to fulfill from day to day, but also benefit yourself by growing, by compounding on your certain knowledge, skills, or abilities. So let's submit that. All right, let's do another question. This is also another good question. Should I cook for one person if I cook for one person if I have a high paying job, or should I eat out if it is healthy? Okay. Should I cook for one person? Alright, let's take a look closer. Is it more common to cook for one person? Okay, so no, you should not cook for a single individual if you can help it, because you should be cooking for two people. Now, studies have shown that people who eat together, they're typically found that they slow down the rate of eating, which is better for digestion, which is better for the whole digestal tract. So for example, your stomach will be in healthier condition, your intestines, you'll be able to absorb more vitamins and minerals from the food that you consume. It won't take as much energy to process the food, and there's a lot of other benefits from that. You'll find that you'll have more energy, and that's simply if you are eating in a social setting, you will slow down. As an example, I went to a friend's place last night, and we were eating, more or less like a potluck, and more or less the entire meal took about a full 2 hours. And you can find in that kind of situation that when you actually are slowing down to eat, you'll find that you can make better choices about the proper proportions of what you're eating, and your body will naturally be able to tell you when it is full, you know, and and it's much more happy as well. The body will be able to absorb the initial enzymes that are necessary, and cooking should be in a social setting. Now, if you're in such a position where you can find yourself um, being able to outsource the actual labor, if you're a singular person, um, that might be a good idea. The reason why is if you're a professional, for example, um, cooking can be a laborious thing. Some people find that it's therapeutic, and it would make sense that over tens of thousands of, or maybe tens of thousands of years of being modern man, we probably have some kind of element or some kind of ritual of actually preparing our food before we put it over the fire, and there may be some benefits from that, but if you can pay to have a healthy diet outside of um, outside of the home, that may be a good idea, except for one caveat, that people who do eat out, typically they um, do not eat on a regular schedule, which is also bad for digestion. Um, all it is best for your digestive system to have some kind of schedule. Um, it doesn't matter when you really start or when you end, but it should be within a certain hour time frame, and also based on people's sleeping rhythms. So you shouldn't eat, right before you go to bed, and um, everything up to that point of your initial no everything after from your initial meal, you should probably try to maintain a certain schedule. Everyone says breakfast is the most important part of the day. The reason that is because once you initially start your first meal, there's about an approximate 12-hour window where you should consume the remainder of your meals. And because people have, people who are healthy typically wake up at a reasonable hour in the morning, they might find themselves having a breakfast because, they also did go to sleep early, so they haven't eaten maybe for up to 12 hours. And in a 24-hour day, 12 minus 12, 12 hours, it's perfect. People wake up and they have something to eat. There have been studies that show that people who have had certain certain patterns of eating, they've how should I say, what is it called, intermittent fasting, where people who've actually been able to maintain a certain schedule daily or even weekly about not eating for a large portion of the day, that their insulin levels improve, and there's a loss of other fringe benefits, as health. Well, health is not really a fringe benefit, but more or less energy levels, and the ability to think and to focus. So, should I cook for one person if I have a high-paying job? And the answer is no, because you should never eat alone. And you should never eat alone, because it will be detrimental to your health. Okay? and just as a link of reference, maybe I can show. Oh, there goes the light. Well, let me see if I can plug it back in. Oh, yeah, and there's a really good book that it's not really going to go into the science too much about it, but why people should never eat alone. And maybe I can find it on Amazon. It's literally called Why You Should Never Eat Alone. Why you should never eat alone. That's strange. I thought it would be one of the first hits. Never eat alone. Maybe that's the title. Never eat alone. You know, this book goes a lot into the justification of why an individual shouldn't eat alone, and you know, it's just lonely. There's nothing more lonely to actually eat alone. It's very unnatural. Okay. Next question we have here. Should I quit my job? Should I quit my job? Should I quit my job? Answer is no. Why? There is clear evidence that states that individuals who quit their jobs find a loss of meaning in life, and there are compounding negative emotions that arise from not being industrious, So, you know, you should never really quit your job. You should add on. So, for example, if you have a job that are 40 hours a week, in no way can you not do what you. In no way is there something that you can't do that you couldn't do, with an extra 10 hours per week. So you should never really get rid of that first job until you have a full job to replace it. And if you, and for example, if you have the financial means that, oh, I can quit my job, but once you quit the job, you should have another one to replace it. And a lot of people think, oh, I quit my job and I'm going to be an entrepreneur, but that's your new job. So you're never really quitting any job. And so that's this question. But directly speaking, a lot of people want to quit their jobs or like take time off or whatever. In all situations, even personally, you wouldn't want to ever quit a job, because it just, you'll find that there's less emotional benefit that you think that would have arisen than if you would have stayed in it. Because, we've been designed genetically to be industrious. That's why we go out and work, and that's why we build art and do beautiful things, and create technology and do entrepreneurship, because without that need to feel industrious, we're no longer humans. So I would seriously consider I would seriously reconsider your thought process simply by asking that question. So the question could be reformulated as, should I quit my job if I have something better? Well, then the answer is obvious. Yes. Should I quit my job if I want to be an entrepreneur? The answer probably is no, because most people fail at being an entrepreneur. But you really got to get into the details, and you can reformulate the question by making it more specific. So let's take a look. Emotional need for having a job. How about this? Suicide statistics based on employment, based on unemployment. And I've never Googled this before, but I bet you that a large portion of people who do have suicides are unemployed. So, first hit, here we go. Unemployment causes 45 students a year worldwide, find study. Unemployment and suicide rate during recession, study finds. The link between unemployment and suicide, World Economic Forum. Recession, unemployment, and suicide in Japan. Suicide and the unemployed. Unemployment in good times or bad is a far bigger factor in suicide than in an economic crisis, accounting for 9 times as many deaths according to a study. Well, I don't know where this study is. Is this a good link? Let's take a look here. No, this is garbage. Lancet Psychiatry. What is this? I guess it's a medical journal. Modeling suicide and unemployment, a longitudinal analysis covering 63. Okay, well, this looks, wow, this is very extensive. So let's make a link to this here. Can we get the full text? No, you probably have to pay for it. Nope. Anyways, the newspaper paid for the research, so let's read the newspaper here. Employment may rate material with unemployment rose by 20-30 place in all regions. So yeah, numbers don't lie, right? You don't want to ever be unemployed, because there's a high likelihood for you to have other mental issues, and it's depression, and there's so many things, negative emotions associated with. But the more I've spent time with the decisions through data, it's almost like everything is correlated to death. You should do things that steer you away from death. And if you keep, maybe I should, rename the domain from don't do death or something, because it seems like any kind of intelligent choices that you can make in life steer you away from things that can kill you. Alright, so let's see what other questions we've got here. Should I always keep applying for higher and higher paying jobs even though I'm already working? If so, almost all the listings don't list the exact pay. Maybe let me copy this. So how do I know if they're not less? I tried asking before applying but getting ignored. It seems as though you can only guess if you get selected for an interview. Okay, I'm going to rephrase this question as should I go for interviews for available positions? Answer is yes. The reason why I'm not going to bother even putting a link, because this is binary. Because if you are going to apply, should I go for interview applying for available positions that pay more that pay more than my current job? Answer is yes. Why? Because you can earn more money. You can earn more money. Now, this question does not go into the emotional needs of the individual. So, why do we work? Well, work renders income, right? Let's take a look. I tried asking before applying but get no response, and it seems as you can only get if you can apply for an interview. If so, almost all the listings don't list the exact pay, so I don't know if they're not less. Already working? If so, almost all the listings don't list the exact pay. Oh. Well, should I go for available positions? Should I go for available positions that pay more than my current job, but do not state the remuneration? The answer is yes. You can earn more money, and you do not have the ability to assume the compensation based on a position, or the potential of growth, in that career solely from opinion. So if you find yourself in a position where you are not getting paid enough to make ends meet, you should be looking for a better job. Why wouldn't you? Do you think it's okay if you have let's say a McDonald's job, some kind of fast food job, or some kind of basic retail, that you should stay in that environment for the rest of your life? Absolutely not. First of all, there may be job security now in that area, but in the long term, those kind of jobs, they may be reformatted to other types of responsibilities. So, for example, the retail clerk may no longer be necessary in 10 years from now. So, you should always try to grow and expand on yourself, or you will be left behind. And a lot of people, they find that it's okay for where they are in their lives, and they're satisfied. But how do you know that you can have something better if you don't try? You don't. So, and without trying, you won't know either. You can make an assumption, but how can you assume that there aren't more opportunities? You can only find more opportunities by seeking more opportunities. And this is risk. But the only risk that you can spend on this issue is your time. And this perfectly segues back into our service. So opportunity.to, pay us $100 a month. We will get you better jobs. We will offer you new career paths you would have never thought of, and we do it in an automated manner. Okay, the time that you would have spent, we can compound that 1,000-fold, simply because we are a technology company. We do not require the individuals who pay us to use a lot of computer time to actually use the service. We simply need to know your background, your unique abilities, maybe a little bit about your employment history, and and you as an individual, what are your skills, and we're going to find that out as part of the paid service. So there will be an interview segment of that, which the assistant that will be looking over your account will be modeling a profile for you, and will make you a very attractive to the careers and or jobs that you are looking to attain. So yes, you should never stop looking unless you are completely satisfied with what you have. But other than that, you should currently seek to have a new job. There's nothing wrong to improving your financial well-being and maybe even your emotional well-being. Maybe there's a better job out there for you. And if you're willing to do that, then you should do it. And as for a link, how about we just go right back to our wonderful website. Opportunity.to services. Oh, alright, so I got another question here. Should I rut a hairy ram or a freshly shaven sheep? I don't know. Sounds like a funny question to me. Anyways, so if you haven't tried contacting us, my name is Casper, and I manage a lot of the customer relations with our data solutions. Okay, so we're very good at aggregating and also making informed decisions on business through data. Okay, we have experience in e-commerce and also a lot of other traditional businesses. We also have had contracts with insurance, so we have a wide, diverse set of abilities. And also, looking here at the screen, I want everyone to try the Opportunity.to app. The reason being is, once we find the set of jobs that you are interested in, the long-term benefit of you being in our system, that we will be approaching jobs, of course, with your permission in the future, so that we can help you find better jobs. The reason being, from a personal perspective, I've been thinking about it deeply. Why am I so passionate about this? And I simply want to see everybody employed. I want to see everyone happy in their jobs, and there are some mass inefficiencies in the market where some people, they are satisfied in singular jobs, but there's a whole vast amount of people who are able to be slotted into different positions simply by just transferring over, and they would be able to function, but they're just simply in the wrong careers. And if you look at the whole economy as a machine, it's not satisfying people emotionally, and the machine is a little bit inefficient because people are not slotted into the jobs that best correlate to them as individuals. So I would like to see, I know, a lot of people more satisfied with what they do from day to day, because that's why we're here at the end of the day. We're here to contribute to our families and loved ones, and ourselves, better ourselves, and live our lives. And there should be no reason why we can't live more more of a prosperous one, or a comfortable one for that matter. We spend 8 hours a day to 12 hours a day at our jobs, and we should enjoy and love it. you know a lot of people, they don't enjoy their jobs, and that's okay for them too, but there's no need that it can be more enjoyable. So I think I'm gonna end the podcast on that note. So thank you for stopping by, and have a nice day.